Happy New Year!
Woo!
Yes, indeed. Here we're excited for you to be with us today on this episode. It's our first episode of the year, and today we're going to be diving into New Year, New Y'all. We hype about this year. We hope you are as well. In this episode, we get a chance to talk about setting goals, right? Reflecting, and always talking about those realistic expectations, because we honestly believe that healthy expectations lead to a healthier relationship. So sit back, do whatever you're doing, whether you're driving, at work, whatever it is, and enjoy this episode.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Sum It Up with the Sumners. I am Katoya.
Damon.
And I sound a little extra excited on purpose because it's the first episode of the new
2022.
year. It's 2022. I literally came in with a little bit more excitement. Did you hear it? Nah. New Year really brings nothing but good stuff. So looking forward to it. Glad y'all are opening up the new year with us.
Yeah.
Got some good stuff.
We do have some good stuff. We're excited to be here. It's a new episode, new year. You just feel a certain type of way at the top of the year here. And one way that has stayed consistent is that we always feel gratitude and appreciation for y'all rocking with us. Especially for those who are still dropping down those reviews over on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate that.
Yep.
And nothing has changed for us. It's a new year, but same thing, baby. We're going to give a review now. This one comes from Barkley Boy. It says, love, exclamation point times 3, 5 stars only. And it says, so funny and so relatable. Appreciate that. Always has me thinking, I'm be honest, this is my favorite part right here. This is what we strive for. This is what we aim for. Always has me thinking, quote, okay, so I'm not the only one who, ... Definitely give it a listen.
Yeah, no, you ain't the only one.
That's it.
That's why we're here.
That's it.
We're not the only one. You're not the only one. If you listen to us, we're all in this together. So thank y'all so much. That's it. Thank y'all for the reviews. Thank you for all the love. I mean, some of this is like a year and a half strong or something. How long has it been now? I don't even
7 plus episodes. Started August 2020 if it's your first time joining us. And here we are recording now in January 2021.
Wow.
And we're excited. We're plotting and planning to have a great year. Some exciting things, some new things coming your way soon. So be on the lookout. And if you want to stay updated, follow us over on Instagram.
IG.
Sum It Up Sumners. S-U-M. Sum It Up Sumners. That's where you can find us there. But let's get to it here. We are diving in today here. It's the new one. And we're talking about New Year, New Y'all. New Year, New Y'all. Okay? Not the old y'all, but a new y'all.
Does that resonate?
Does it resonate? Or if you're from the north, maybe say you guys. New Year, new you guys. You know, like everybody don't say y'all.
Oh,
that's
sorry.
the whole
we
thing.
are from Texas and Louisiana.
South out
y'all
here.
Y'all is it.
Kind of lingo here.
I still say y'all. I'm happy with y'all.
I have no problem saying y'all.
I was, not putting the apostrophe in the right place. I don't know if it was an autocorrect or something.
Where you putting an apostrophe? After the A?
I don't even know.
You putting it after
I
the
think
the
so.
L's?
This was like a couple of years ago. And my mom, our certified grammar specialist, she's like, hey.
Hey, just a heads up. Just a heads up.
I was like, dang, I ain't noticed. Thanks, Mom. Mm-hmm. Anyway, y'all, good folks, it is true. New Year, new y'all. That New Year is like new possibilities.
That's where it starts with
It's possible.
And all possible. Let's start there for a second.
But just be mindful though.
Be mindful. It's 2022. We still in the midst of the thicket.
It makes me feel like birthday. New Year's like your birthday. People are like, man, you feel older today?
Right now?
No, it just like today, it just felt like yesterday, right?
Yeah. But there is a buzz, there is an excitement of just the possibilities. Or continuation, right? Maybe you started or ended the year with some things going in the right direction. Like, okay, let me, I learned a few things and let me keep it going.
Right.
I lost a few things, let me keep it going.
That's true.
But then sometimes there's that I'm ready to just hit, reset, start over, start a new leaf. And when you're talking about being in a relationship, when you're talking about being in a marriage, there's different things we try to take into consideration as well,
Yeah.
So that New Year, New Y'all mindset is real. And I know we're feeling it. I hope maybe you're feeling it in a positive way. Because every year isn't the best.
Opportunity for no, every year is not the
Right?
best, but every year is also a year to strive, right?
Yes, it is. Yes,
and
it
to
is.
autocorrect some things.
Yes, indeed.
We ain't really.
We ain't doing that.
But what we are and what we did love, and we've had, we've talked about setting goals and New Year and all that good stuff. And so, just what does that look like as a couple? And think about starting it off just like you should start anything, before you start something new, is like reflection. What went well? What do you want to improve on? How can you assess and be like seeing your pros and your grows?
Pros and the grows.
So that you have some starting point of where you're trying to go.
Yeah, before you move forward, I think you can't stop you can't go forward without looking back. Like it's just helpful to like sometimes you ever be at the grocery store and you get a bunch of things and you come home, you're like, oh dang, we already had that.
Yeah, I had like 5 syrups the other day.
We had like 5 syrups in our house. We just kept going to the store buying syrup without looking.
It must have just been in the car.
We have 5 syrups today.
I threw one away because it was like a teaspoon left.
To be fair, we had like 6.
And then like
you put one away that was unopened.
And then I put 2 away.
We had 5 syrups. But when
I didn't do a good job reflecting on the pantry. That is clear.
And so what you don't want 5 syrups in your relationship. And so before you move ahead, you wanna step back, you wanna pause, you wanna look back, look at the highs, like Atoya said, look at the lows. Look at things that
pros and grows.
What'd I say?
Highs and lows.
Highs and lows, pros and grows. Yes, thank you.
It feels better.
It does feel better. It's already more encouraging, that's for sure. Right? Look at new things that you started that you didn't do the year before, right? Look at things that you let go, that you didn't need, things that weren't healthy, things that weren't helpful, right? So there's this element of reflection. If you're talking about new year, new y'all, like our encouragement is like, man, like this is something that we feel is really important. And this is something that Katrina and I, we're excited that this week we're going to get into for ourselves. We usually do it at the end of the year. We do it at the top of the year. Nothing wrong with that. But it's something we've been doing, I don't know. I won't say since the beginning of our relationship, but we've definitely been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, I think we've definitely been doing it since our marriage or something.
Probably so.
Yeah,
and we find so much benefit in it.
Yeah.
There's so much time just to get the chance to sit individually, right? And then also sit together to reflect.
Yeah. And did you say we haven't done it yet? Exactly.
I say, we're going to do this week.
Yeah, but it feels almost like, oh gosh, we haven't done it yet. But it's okay.
Yeah.
I think if you hit anything in the first 31 days, you're good.
I think so.
I think so. It's like also how long do you keep saying Happy New Year?
Oh, talk about it.
You just keep saying Happy New Year all of January.
I stopped in January. Like, so if I see you in February for the first time, I'm not giving you a Happy New Year.
Well, maybe it's not Happy New Year. Like, how you feeling this
year?
What's going on?
2022?
Big plans? Yeah.
No.
Anyway, but so I think we'll sit down, and it's better that it be meaningful and not rushed, so we can really take an assessment, because there is some new y'all that I want for us to happen this year.
Yes,
like
it is.
There's some areas that we want to grow in, and for us, because just in natural conversation, while we haven't sat down, wrote it all down, put it in the notes, made it official, stamped it, blood, we haven't done that yet. Sealed it with the kiss. And a prayer.
Put it in a bowl.
Send it away.
Put that blood on it. Stamp it down with the candlelight.
Put the what's them boards?
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
Dang, the little boards.
Yeah.
No. The board. The boards. The vision board.
Oh, the vision board.
We ain't done all. We don't do all that. But we do know, like, one thing that we've been saying a lot, and I think a lot of it. I'm gonna throw that out there too.
Throw it out there.
Is that be gentle to yourself. I say that like, because I know I can be hard on myself, but the last 2 years, like,
context matters.
Just you gotta put your relationship into context, right? And so before you start going all into it this year, really think about, like, this was still a bizarre year, right? Still not normal. All that to say, we have a goal of dating more, like getting out the house and setting intentional time for dates. It's been tough over the past 2 years. Now, we could have tried harder. I mean, those excuses.
Sure.
But at the same time, the circumstances, didn't always yield itself, to lend that way. So that's one thing for us that we just really want to improve on.
Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely, when we're talking about goal setting, right, and reflecting back, I think you can't miss the context, right? That as you're in the midst of a global pandemic, You know, so much is happening, and I really like that. That be gentle, like not to yourself, right? Also to y'all as a whole, right?
Yeah,
And so,
real.
like, you know, talking about that emotional, mental health, right? Where you're not beating yourself up.
Well, and
You
the good
know.
thing too about like being in a relationship is like, I mean, I don't know how many times. Like, I looked at a note that we had from maybe like 2019. It's like, oh man, that is still revolving.
One of my favorite things to do. You talking about when you say a note?
Yeah.
You mean like looking at our old
goals and
Oh.
our, you know, and this is kind of a combination between one, you need to reflect, and two, you need to set the goals, but you don't set the goals until you reflect, right? But essentially, yeah, you get to hopefully spend a very long time with the person that you're with, you know, and you'll have time to continue to improve in different areas, or new things popped up, because when we started the podcast, it was never on the list that year.
No, it was not on our 2020 list.
We just started out on 2020 being like, we're going to start a podcast.
No, it was not on the list.
So you have to like celebrate the things that do come up. But, you know, I just lost my thought there.
Well, think about it for a second here. We'll stand on that when you say things that weren't on the list.
Oh.
Like one actionable item we would suggest is like, when you have this conversation, like write things down if you haven't. And if you have, shout out to you. If you haven't, no worries.
Yeah.
But like write things down to just see. To be like, wow, we did some things. I did some things.
Yeah.
You did some things.
Right. Exactly. And then the whole point earlier was just revolving. You get to spend all this time with this person. So even if it wasn't something that was hit, or it wasn't like achieved this year to the level.
Right. Yeah.
It's you and your partner, and y'all get to come up with new strategies to, you know, how you want to improve in this area next year. It's so funny because I think about that last week's Simple Solutions, and it was like, my spouse don't want to improve our marriage.
Or our marital growth on two different pages.
Marital growth.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is relationship growth right here.
Right.
Where you can, for legit, want to be a new year, new y'all, new and improved, going through a renovation in your relationship.
Yeah.
Where you're like, let's take an assessment, and let's really talk about areas that you want to see go good or go better, or what's not going great. It might be a testy conversation for sure. Like,
it might be.
It's not gonna feel great at sometimes, you know, but it's beneficial because you get a space to talk it out, to be heard, and to like come up with a plan.
Yeah, and make sure it's balanced too. Like we would recommend like having those things with those grows.
Yeah.
Right? I like a good sandwich. I like a grow pro. That's how I like to do my thing. If I'm going to deliver some bad news, I want to put a little sprinkle on that thing, and then put a grow, and then put another little pro on the back end. So, you know, kind of be balanced with it. You're talking about be gentle, right? Because there's still a lot of things to big up. Big up yourself about, big up your partner about, you know, and there's that time to also like celebrate, you know? I saw something online the other day. It was just like, you know, I think it specifically said Americans, and I'm gonna stay with that if it didn't, because I think our work culture here and our hustle culture here is a little too much. But like the celebrating yourself and celebrating others, you know what I'm saying? Like, do more of that thing. Do more of that. Like, you know, and some goals you haven't hit. Like I have on my list, personal goals, get abs. It's still on the list. It's still there. Okay? We still working at it. Okay?
True.
But Katoya big ups me in other areas. I get other praises and other high fives in other places, but it's still there.
Did you just say get abs?
It's just it. It's get abs. It's
that
just
might be
6 letters. Get abs. And it just stays right there. 6 letters, and it's just at the top. It's like, Damon, make more money, get abs. Those are 2.
Go. G-O, exclamation mark. Get it. But that is fun. That's interesting too. I know you're being silly, but it might be true too. But the point is too, with the goals, you know, put your action items together, what they're going to be, like the real steps behind them. Ooh. So that you're not just like a big picture. This is what I want, because probably those pictures, those goals are the ones that not kind of rolling.
What is
over.
that? Do you know that phrase? It's a cliche, but it's still relevant. It's like a plan. Ooh, it's like a plan. To plan without. Oh, dang.
Hold on.
A dream without a plan is a plan to fail. Something like that. If you listen, you're like, oh, I know what y'all trying to say. But essentially that. I butchered it.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah. So I think those actionable items, well done. Those actionable items are really important. If you're like, yo, we want to, you know, okay, if we just stick with an us. We want to do more date nights. Okay,
Yeah.
well, what are the actionable items for the summer?
And we actually do have them. We just need to do the next step to them. So we've already like made the steps out. We know we've got a little database going. We know the price that we are willing to pay a sitter. We know the days that we think our kids can be all right. So now it's like, all right, put it down
on the calendar,
and then book someone. You know,
if it don't go on the summer's calendar, then something else might replace that time that was there.
And that's really true
and
too.
that's important for
that
us.
does happen to us. I look on that calendar like, yeah,
a free Friday? A free Friday? Mike.
I'm finna go hang out with somebody. I'm finna go do this. You know, I'm finna go to a show real quick, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, oh gosh, y'all remember when our life was so not that.
When you were 17?
No.
Were you?
Like 24 and under. I was chilling. I don't think I had
Oh, we went to work and came home. We had an infant who ate, slept, and pooped, and it was just, all right, we chilling. Like it was a simpler time. It was
so bizarre because that's not it now. Now we have like so many hobbies and interests and pursuits and whew, Lord.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that might be something I'm ready to reflect on. Slow down, baby. But then you say that and you're like, nah, but I got these goals. There is just balance. There's just balance. It's balancing your relationship and catering to that and saying, no, even though I want to like do this for myself and this may be my best day, it's also the best day for us, you know?
Yeah.
So there's some prioritizing for sure.
Absolutely. We're going to get back into this in just a second, but we'll be right back after this quick break.
Boop. So I don't really love to cook as the primary cook in this family. However, what I do like is to jazz up the meals when I do cook, right? I'm looking for spices, seasonings, dry rubs, and I found a good place. It is Artisan Dry Goods made by beautiful Briny C. So a little bit of everything to spice up, jazz up your meal. It is a local store right here in Atlanta, but ready to ship out to you all over the world.
Absolutely. And they're legit. I'm going to be honest with you here. Forbes, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and Oprah's magazine. And you know Oprah only going to promote the good stuff, all right? So check them out. Instagram, beautiful Briny C. Make your kitchen better. All right, I'm talking about real good ingredients, urban gardens, local farms, so it's good for your taste buds, good for your body. Check them out, and let's get to the episode. All right, we're back here. Check them out. Check them out. Beautiful Briny C.
Check
We're
them out.
trying
Check
to
them out.
tell
Check 'em
you,
out.
they good. They in our pantry.
Listen, I just meal prep for the week.
Ooh, put on that chicken.
Put that on the chicken.
Grill that chicken in the air
Drizzle
fryer.
a little black pepper with a little honey on top.
Ooh, beautiful Briny C.
We coming.
All the goods. Check them out. All right, let's get back into it here. New year, new y'all. Staying with the reflection and goals here for a second. For us, the date nights are big. That's important for us off top there because that's also just been, because sometimes when you are getting ready, you're excited for a new year. You're excited to make new goals. You're excited to kind of grow in a relationship, right? You're just always trying to level up. Sometimes big picture, not just looking at last year, but big picture, sometimes things that were good can fade. And I think for us, one thing why date nights are important, one, they are important in every relationship, period. But also, they have been, holistically in our 13-year marriage, a strong part of our relationship. Like, from having no kids, to 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, to being in Texas, to being in China, to being here in the ATL. Like, date nights have been important to us. And in the midst of a pandemic and all that jazz, and who knows when it really started to fade, it did. We realized it.
I blame those children.
Right? We realized it. You know what I'm saying? And we're like, oh, okay. Let's get back to a key core. Like, let's get back to a core piece of our relationship that keeps intimacy high, that keeps spontaneity high, that keeps fun hot. So it's just not mundane. And, all right, listen, I love Netflix. We love Netflix. But you do Netflix for 21 days straight, like, all right. I mean, hey, get cute. Put on a nice shoot. Put on some slacks. You know what I'm saying? Put the smell good song. You know what I'm saying? Like, it continues to fight to keep that fire. So, like, just kind of keep that in mind as well when you talk about big picture, new year, new y'all. Everything new ain't good. Everything old ain't bad. And we've been doing the date night. So I just want to make sure I think about that because I like to look back and kind of be like, man, this has been an important piece and we don't want to lose anything that's important. So
I like it.
That's one thing. Another thing for us that we're wanting to just kind of open it up to y'all that we're working on here, maybe some of y'all can relate. Is like we want to just continue to prove as Sumner's like with our money management. That's Couture and I, we've got some exciting family goals we're trying to accomplish this year. For real, for real.
For real, for real. FR.
Capital. And so money management, you know, we've done a few different ways of money management. What's up? Can you think back a different type of way we've handled money?
I mean, we did the cash system.
That's the one I be thinking of all the time. Yo, I don't know.
That was so dumb.
Was that Texas?
I don't like that idea.
Well, I don't know where we were, but we used to have an accordion bin.
I think it has to do. It's a part of the what's his name?
Oh yeah. Dave Ramsey. Thing.
Yeah, but it's like
it was all cash.
Yeah, but like, why would you pull out that much cash? And then two, what happens when everybody's not accessible to the cash?
No. There's pros and pros to the system.
But it was nice because like once it was out, it was out.
It was gone. So what we got in the date night? Nothing.
Dang.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Well, it is very visible.
Yes, but there are some kinks in his armor. That's one way.
Yeah, we've done that.
You know, we've done several different ways.
We've done different
Mint.com. We've done. So we got a new system. New year, new
y'all.
Yeah,
we do have a new system.
We're excited about it.
I am excited. I think it'll be really helpful. We got big savings goals so that we can achieve even bigger goals. And as we get closer there, we will continue to share there. But hopefully this year is the year that this no longer needs to be a revolving goal on our list.
Come on. Oh, sorry, we got a little loud there for you. We got a little loud.
At least we're on the same page. So
I also want to give a caveat that we had a whole 2-hour money conversation. Zero spats.
It's true.
Zero.
That we did have a money conversation.
Zero spats.
But we haven't talked about
money conversation.
The personal.
I hope y'all clapping. I hope y'all clapping for us. That's not just for us, but for you. Notice you can have that in your life too.
Talk about your finances.
But that is a big thing. We got a new system here. That's another goal for us that we're trying to set up and get situated with. And then we got a couple bigger goals that we'll hopefully get a chance to celebrate with you with in the coming months with it here. But those things are important. Those things are helpful for us to be on the same page, right? Yeah. Couture and I, we try to stay on the same page.
Yeah.
We try to stay on the same page. Good. We're pretty good with that.
And then there's days I'm just like, I just don't understand. Where are you? Why are you not with me? I no longer even want to talk to you.
I have learned how to take a beat and a pause if she asks me, what are you doing this week? Because we share one calendar. So no longer does it lead to frustration. I take a pause. And then she says, because she's learned and I've learned, we both have grown. You know, I haven't looked at the calendar yet. I'm like, all right, I'm okay. All right, well then let's talk then, right? Let's talk, right? And these are small steps moving in the right direction, guys.
Whatever.
That's what we want.
Whatever. I don't even know what he's talking about. Whatever.
One thing I want to ask is it even feasible? Is it even feasible to have a new year, new y'all mentality? A lot of times when we hit that December 31st, we flip that calendar over, throw a whole new calendar out, put a new calendar in. You know, a lot of times we can feel internally, maybe not, you know, realistically, but like just that optimism of, man, like this gonna be the year or this gonna be a dope year. And we all know that ain't guaranteed.
It's not.
It's not guaranteed. So when we're talking about new year, new y'all, is it really possible? I think I won't speak for you. But I know I definitely believe it's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Oh.
For you all to be a new y'all.
Okay.
That was a remix.
That was a remix. Okay. That was a remix. She gave y'all a remix off the dome.
It's
What's
possible.
that? That's the Whitney Houston Cinderella one.
For plain yellow. I know the real version. Anyway, it is possible, but I do think, you know, just like all resolutions, it's dangerous, you know? So you got to put the expectations right, right? I think that these steps are necessary. Reflections, goals, healthy expectation, communication, right? So that you can enter into a new year, new y'all in areas together.
Right.
And you may not see the new y'all till December.
Wow. But you got here.
But how else were you going to get there?
You got there, though.
You didn't work toward it, right? So the new y'all may be like, y'all, we celebrating 2023.
Yep.
We did it,
We
you know?
did that.
No, we went through a journey all of 2022 to get there.
Yeah.
But we're there.
We're there.
So that's a healthy expectation.
That's true.
Like, we're really trying to hit those savings goals and all that. That probably won't happen till like July, August, you know? So
work to do.
The 2022 is just a part of the journey.
Yep.
You know, the big thing that people say now is trust the process.
Come on.
So whatever your goals are, your reflections, the goal setting, your the conversations, the tough ones you about to have, trust the process. Because if you can trust your spouse and you can trust that you guys can work together, then you can trust the process.
Yeah. That process is so true. And like you said, those expectations for the process is true. Like, it would be unrealistic for us, based off of our schedule, based off of our lives as adults, and also having 3 kids, to say, yo, you know, we're trying to do 2 date nights a week. That's not realistic. That will lead to frustration on your end, my end, our budget
Well,
end.
then we feel like a failure.
Yeah. And we won't need that.
Nah.
Well,
I mean,
that's-
we could do 2 date nights a week, but that would be like 1 in
Oh,
house
yes.
and 1 out the house.
Sure.
You have to categorize.
Yes, this is true, right? And even being specific, right?
Yeah.
And so those things are just important, just so you can set yourself. Setting healthy expectations are important in a healthy relationship. You know what I mean?
Say it again.
I just came off the dome. But setting healthy expectations are part of a healthy relationship. And when we're talking about this new year, new y'all, there's a lot of excitement, but we got to have that practicality. I'm going to be honest here. Caveat, I don't really know what pragmatic means. I was going to use it, but I censored myself. I think it's in the same vein of being like, you know, practical and logical.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
so that's important, right? Because you want to have a great year. You're optimistic about this year. And you're like, yo, let's go. Things have been good. Want to make it better. Things have been bad. Let's make it better. But if you don't set yourself up with realistic expectations, then here comes disappointment. Here comes conflict, right? Here comes frustration.
Yeah.
So let's just be mindful of that before we get too far ahead. I'm going to hit the gym every day, 7 days a week, 2 hours a day. Whoa, baby. Whoa.
What happens when you don't?
You ain't worked out since high school band. Settle down.
First of all, your body's gonna fail you by
Ooh,
about 2 weeks.
you
in,
just had a
'cause
double
it's
quarter
like,
pounder
what is
today.
going on?
Yeah.
I am so sore.
Whoa.
I can
You can't walk up the
no longer
steps.
Move.
Yeah, so it's just like, don't do that to yourself, right?
Realistic.
Right?
I like it.
Those are important. Those are important things to do. But all that to say, the Southerners believe in you because we believe in us. And we believe in this year.
Come on, 2022.
We
Y'all,
believe
let's
in
go.
this year.
No matter what it may hold.
No matter
We're
what it
gonna put
may
our
hold.
trust in the process,
In each other.
in each other,
That's it.
and just roll from there.
Go hard. I'm excited.
Go hard.
Ooh, hey, get it, gang. Listen, man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us this episode here. Top of the year, new year, new y'all for everybody. Be sure we having a good time over on Instagram.
Yeah.
We having a good time. We creating
Damon's
content.
having the most good time.
I'm having
And
fun.
I'm trying to come to the party.
Katoya's coming. New year, new her. We coming. Because what we're not going to do is have goals for us with this podcast, and if we don't put the work in. And that's unrealistic. So follow us on Instagram. We're having fun over there. Join the fun. Making content. Sum It Up Sumners. That's the Instagram handle. Sum It Up Sumners.
One, we'd love for you to follow.
Bam.
I double dog dare you,
Ooh.
old school,
Okay.
to repost, share, and tag us. I
come
mean,
on.
I just, if
The double dog there. They got you now.
Share and tag us?
They got you now with the double dog
Wow.
Are
Are you
dog
a real listener? Are you really a part of that consistent set of folks? Right? Just like come at you.
I'm gonna bring that back. I'm gonna bring back double dog. I haven't heard that in a long time.
I don't even know where it came from.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
Double dog.
I double
dare.
dog dare you. And and
So-
just sorry, I have no idea if that means something completely wrong.
Double dog
It's just
dare.
one of those things that I grew up hearing.
I
And
don't think it would be anything wrong.
you never know.
You never know.
Well, you know, back in the day, the
Yeah.
dogs.
We
And you'd be
did.
like, what? I had no idea. Said that when I was 10. Leave me alone.
Double dog dared you. It happened here.
Yep, to
Triple
not
D.
only share, but then Sum It Up Sumner. So we'd be like, oh snap, it was you who
That's
shared
dope.
it.
We would love that.
Nah, we would. We appreciate y'all so much. We'll check you out next time.
See you soon.